So let's talk about infrastructure, highly critical for economic recovery. What has the administration done in this regard in its first few months in office?
Well, you know, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is very passionate about infrastructure delivery, not just with words, but with action. Again, you go back to his record as governor, that's what you would have seen, the reconstruction of Lagos State, which was ongoing through the blueprint being implemented by his successors. And it's going to be no different in Nigeria. Obviously, there was a massive improvement in our infrastructure base under President Muhammadu Buhari across railways, seaports, airports, and roadways and the like. Now we want to double down on that. But how do we do that? A major function of how we're going to do that is by really bringing in unprecedented levels of private sector finance to be able to mobilize toward the development of public infrastructure. Already, obviously, the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari really started the kind of mobilizing private capital for public sector investment with the tax credit road scheme, where private companies brought their own money up front to build roads in jurisdictions that were strategic to their businesses in exchange for calibrated tax relief. That was one. But what we are talking about now is something much greater and much larger in scope. It involves, the massive mobilization of private capital from around the world to fund private infrastructure projects on the basis of a predictable and verifiable, kind of a reimbursement program. So, for example, look at the most recent major super project that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has really just gotten to the conclusion of signing on with respect to the Lagos to Abuja superhighway. Why is this important? You're going to have a major superhighway between Lagos and Abuja, which is essentially going to allow for travel time to be reduced between the commercial capital and the administrative capital of our country from approximately 12 hours currently by road between the two locations down to about 4 hours at the speed of 120 kilometers an hour consistently over that span. So that is being funded, 470 kilometer superhighway that is going to be built with concrete technology, ensuring that we can double the span of life on that road, for example, from the traditional, asphalt paved roadways that we're used to seeing constructed across the country, with the adoption of concrete across multiple road sectors across our country under the leadership of His Excellency Honorable Minister Dave Umahi, the Minister of Works. The aggressive adoption of cement, which is being supported and fully backed by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is also going to allow for, a sustainable infrastructure base. It's one thing to build new roads across the country, but if they're spoiling in 10 years and you have to now re-up that investment after 10 years, it obviously makes more sense to do it once and do it for 25, 50 years as against the 10 years. That is what the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is focused on, with projects such as the Lagos to Abuja superhighway, which is set to be completed before the end of the first term of His Excellency, Mr. President. You are going to be seeing such projects coming up around the country, not just in the road sector, but also in rail lines and also in power plants, such as the Abuja Independent Power Project that was flagged off by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in his first days in office, which is the first of three major IPPs on the Abuja to Kaduna to Kano gas pipeline, AKK gas pipeline corridor. Directly fed by that gas pipeline, you have three major IPPs coming in at an average of about 1,350 megawatts each, combined over, 4,000. Over about 4,000 megawatts approximately between the three, one in Abuja, one in Kaduna, and one in Kano. but Mr. President flagged off the one in Abuja. So we are starting very aggressively. Already the discussion around, for example, our refineries finally will move from discussion into manifest deliverable, into manifest delivery. That has to do with the December deadline given by Mr. President to the reconstructing contractor at the Port Harcourt refinery, phase 1. So Mr. President is intent and determined on ensuring that he is in a position to open that facility for use by the grace of God sometime around the end of this year. So there is a lot in terms of infrastructure, and there's a lot more that will be announced in the days and weeks and months to come.